Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, for allowing me to do another lesson. Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. There's no God beside them. Real quick, a double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect. 3 African states quit ICC. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have accused the Hague-based Court of Selective Justice. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have announced their withdrawal from the International Criminal Court, denouncing the Hague-based tribunal as an instrument of imperialist neo-colonial repression. Let me see something real quick. Okay, I mean, I have no coastline. Okay. In the region of West Africa. So these are Jakes. I just want to do my homework real quick before I made a statement. But I know Burkina Faso and Niger, probably even Mali too. I would assume, you got a lot of Israelites over there. And there's no justice for us. Which us, I'm speaking of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. Don't expect justice from this devil. Alright? His justice is selective. Right? This is Psalms 12 and 8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. Right? And that's what happens here. Certain people are exalted while others are put down. We are yet this day in our captivity. And like the scriptures say, no man shall save you. Alright, so as we go into this article, which Lord willing you Akim can hear me, I'm on a plant, so I gotta speak with an inside voice, so to speak. But it says Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have announced their withdrawal from the International Criminal Court, denouncing the Hague-based tribunal as an instrument of imperialist neo-colonial repression. The 3 West African states said on Monday that their decision aimed at fully asserting their sovereignty takes immediate effect. Bamako, Niamey, and Ouagadougou ratified the Rome Statute of the ICC in 2000, 2002, and 2004 respectively. In a joint statement under the banner of the Confederation of Sahel States, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger said they had cooperated with the court since joining, but claimed it has revealed itself as a global example of selective justice. The ICC has proven itself incapable of handling and prosecuting proven war crimes, crimes against humanity, crimes of genocide, and crimes of aggression. The countries accused of maintaining an inexplicable, disconcerting, and complacent silence on certain crimes while relentlessly targeting actors outside the closed circle of beneficiaries of institutionalized international impunity. Right? In other words, if you're not a small hat, you don't get a pass. The court has in recent years faced criticism for allegedly shielding individuals from powerful nations while pursuing cases largely against figures from Asia and Africa. In March, international relations expert Ali Haman also told RT that the ICC lost its legitimacy by serving the political interests of certain powers. Right? And the scriptures tell us that Isaiah 32:5, the vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl to be bountiful. For the vile person will work violently, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fill. Right? So, yes, this bullshit being done all over the world. However, it's a selective, it's pretty much what's happening is a respect of persons, which in the law of the Bible, which they say they claim, or they claim they go by, it speaks against that. It says, the instruments also of the true are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. All right, so there's no justice, not here at least. And as I mentioned, this is Leviticus 19:15. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. All right. And you see, the Lord is going to come and judge the earth based upon his laws. All right. Judge the ruler of the earth. He's got to judge him on something, right? You know, even when you go into a courtroom today, you hear the case and you measure it against the laws of your society. You being the judge. Well, that's what the Lord is doing. He's hearing the various cases now from ultimately the men of the Lord crying and sighing for the abomination that be done in the midst thereof. All right. And even these other nations. You know, I was watching the elder brother Mwatazak last night, and he was bringing out various cases of how these people are really, really starting to hate these fucking small heads. You know, because that's what's being implied as you read that article. Remember, the scriptures say that they are greatly despised. Let me see if there's any more. Right, Deuteronomy 1:17. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. This is another one, Proverbs 28:21. To have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread that man will transgress. Sirach 35:12. Do not think to corrupt with gifts, for such he will not receive. Yeah, let's start at 12. And you know, this is beautiful because, you know, as we learn about the Lord and we see how life is today, it's a total 180. how the Lord, he has respect unto the poor and afflicted. But this devil has respect unto the wicked and the wicked. The more demonic you are, the more respect he has for you. But it says, do not think to corrupt with gifts, which in this world, in this life, that's pretty much what gets you off is gifts. All right? We talking about greed E, greedy E. Esau, Edom. When you go into what's the book of Genesis, one of his sons, he named him Eliphaz, meaning my God is gold. Right? So you got enough gold, you got enough really money, but also influence in his life, which comes by way of money. All right, then you can corrupt. Meaning the laws are not set in stone. Not for him, at least. For such he will not receive. This is talking about the Lord, as we read. For such he will not receive. And trust not to unrighteous sacrifices. For the Lord is judge, and with him is no respect of persons. Right, then it goes down to speak on we'll read it. He will not accept any person against a poor man, but will hear the prayer of the oppressed. He will not despise the supplication of the fatherless, nor the widow when she poureth out her complaint. Right, and our complaint is that wickedness be cut off and righteousness be set up. And eventually, through those cries, the Lord is going to eject this man out of the game, so to speak. It says the court in recent years faced criticism for allegedly shielding individuals from powerful nations while pursuing cases largely against figures from Asia and Africa. In March, international relations expert Ali Hamoud also told RT that the ICC lost its legitimacy by serving political interests of certain powers. It says, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have for years battled deadly insurgencies waged by jihadist groups. The authorities in Mali, where the violence was erupted, referred the situation to the ICC in 2012, but in more than a decade, the court has pursued only 2 prosecutions. The Sahel states said they intend to establish indigenous mechanisms for the consolidation of peace and justice, following their withdrawal from the Rome Statute. I got to look more into that. What's the Rome? Under the Rome Statute, withdrawal from the ICC takes effect 1 year after written notification is received by the UN Security Secretary General. Yeah, I'm gonna look more into that. Yeah, man. But with that, it just caught my eye, seeing as pretty much Jake is always the one to get the shitty end of the stick. What it said in Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28. That's one. Pretty much how the scriptures say, thy eyes shall fail thee. I got 2 more actually, and then we're gonna end it. Right, thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hands. Deuteronomy 28, that was 28:32, verse 65. Among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. So you got another thing coming. You're looking for justice from this devil. And there's one in Jeremiah. (15:5). For who shall have pity on thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Now, even if you have made the argument, oh, nah, well, those are Hamites, but the point still stands that certain people get a pass while others don't in this society. All right, and wickedness is wickedness regardless. Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? Right? And this is also playing into prophecy, because the scriptures say how Africa should join themselves with America's adversary, Gog and Magog, which is Russia. So you could find that in Ezekiel 38. I believe it says Libya and Ethiopia. All right, so this is Yahpah, man. Another day of bringing out prophecy. Another day what the Lord is working. So with that, shalom to the elect.